Hello! We hope you're enjoying your stay at Toshi's place.
To help you make the most of your time in Kamakura, we've prepared this sightseeing guide.
Today, we'll introduce you to Ankokuron-ji Temple.
Yes, Ankokuron-ji. It's a really fascinating spot.
It really is. Ankokuron-ji Temple, well, it stands today as this remarkably quiet, almost, unassuming historic temple of the Nichiren sect.
It's tucked away, isn't it? Bit off the main tourist paths in Kamakura.
Exactly. It's in this lovely, serene valley, so it's a true hidden gem if you're looking to soak up some history and nature without, the big crowds. It was founded back in the mid-13th century, right in the thick of the Kamakura period, so its origins are really deeply tied into that whole era of, well, major political and social change.
And what's really key here, I think, is that this isn't just some temple connected to Nichiren. It's the actual place of origin for the Nichiren school of Buddhism.
The very beginning.
The very beginning. After he set up his sect over at Seikoji Temple in Shiba, Nichiren chose this specific spot right here in Kamakura to build his first simple hermitage.
Wow.
And this little hut, it wasn't just a place to live. It was a real turning point. It took his vision, this one person's idea, and started turning it into an actual organized movement right here.
So this is where it all sort of solidified.
Pretty much. The spiritual framework of the Nichiren school really took shape here. In fact, its old name was Ankokuron-ji.
Ankokuron-ji. What does that mean?
It translates to something like Cave Temple of Ankokuron. Really speaks to those rugged beginnings, doesn't it?
Deep temple. Yeah, that paints a picture. A very determined figure. And Nichiren spent, 2 decades here? A really significant chunk of his life.
20 years, yes.
Yeah.
Long time.
And it was during that time, right here, that he wrote his absolutely crucial work, the Risho Ankokuron.
The treatise on the establishment of righteousness and the security of the country.
Right. For anyone listening who might not be familiar, what was the core message? What was the big idea behind that treatise?
That's a great question because, well, the Risho Ankokuron wasn't just philosophy. It laid out Nichiren's whole vision for how the nation could find peace and how people could find happiness, all based on Buddhist principles.
Okay.
But what really makes it stand out, and it's kind of amazing, is its strong prophetic element. Nichiren directly warned that if the country kept following what he saw as false teachings, meaning the other Buddhist schools, it would face 2 huge disasters: a devastating invasion from abroad and serious internal conflict.
And looking back now, it's pretty astonishing how those predictions seem to line up with actual events.
Exactly. You had the February disturbance in 1266, which was a big samurai rebellion that really shook up the Kamakura government.
Right.
And then, of course, the really dramatic Mongol invasions, the Ginko, in 1274 and 1281. These were huge attempts to conquer Japan.
Unprecedented, really.
Totally unprecedented. And for many people back then, especially Nichiren's followers, these weren't just random events. They saw them as proof, really chilling proof, that his warnings were right. It absolutely cemented his reputation as a prophet.
It sounds like he was incredibly radical for his time. And, well, ideas that bold usually don't go unchallenged.
No, definitely not. He faced intense opposition, even persecution, from the powerful established Buddhist sects and, unsurprisingly, from the government, too.
And one of the most famous incidents, his first big persecution, happened right here, didn't it? The Matsubagayatsu incident. What exactly happened there?
Yes, the Matsubagayatsu incident in 1260. It was violent. His hermitage, right here on these grounds, was burned down by a mob, basically stirred up by rival sects. He had to flee.
Just incredible resilience.
Absolutely. And it wasn't a one-off thing. His time here was incredibly tough. Beyond that fire, he was actually captured here for the Izu exile. He was banished for a time. And later, the really serious Ryuko persecution, where he just barely escaped execution near here, only to be exiled again to Saido Island.
So this temple really embodies that struggle, that endurance against incredible odds.
It truly does.
And that spirit, it's not just history in a book. You can actually feel it on the grounds today, can't you? What are some of the key spots that connect us directly to Nichiren's life here?
Oh, the grounds are like a historical map of his time here. The most central spot is the Gohokutsu. That's the actual cave where Nichiren lived.
The actual cave?
Yes. And remarkably, it's where he wrote that incredibly important Risho Ankokuron.
Oh, wow.
And right in front of it, you'll see the Goshoin Prayer Hall. It's this beautiful cedar building from the late Edo period. It was built by the famous Owari Tokugawa family specifically to honor the cave.
That's quite a tribute.
It is. Now, it's important for visitors to know neither the Gohokutsu Cave nor the Goshoin Hall are actually open to the public to go inside.
Ah, okay. Good to know.
But just standing near them, you really feel that historical weight, that spiritual presence.
It's amazing how places can hold that kind of energy. And speaking of caves, I heard there's another one with a really interesting legend.
Yes. You're thinking of Nanmenkutsu, another sacred cave. The legend is quite charming, actually. It's said that Nichiren hid in this cave once,
Okay.
guided by a white monkey.
A white monkey? Seriously?
Seriously. It's a story that's still told and revered today. Adds a lovely touch of mystery and, well, connection to nature.
A white monkey guide. I love that. Now, if you need a moment to just sit and absorb all this history, there's a spot for that too, right?
Yes, the Oyasumi Dokoro. It's a resting area right next to the main hall. Very peaceful. You can sit down, maybe have some matcha tea or some kelp tea. They usually serve it with little traditional sweets.
Perfect.
And as you wander around, keep an eye out for 9 unique stone lanterns. These were also donated by the Tokugawa family. Shows their support, you know.
Right.
There's also a really interesting Gandhara-style Shakyamuni Buddha statue. Gandhara style shows that Greek and Roman artistic influence reaching all the way into Buddhist art.
Fascinating blend.
And look for the Busukaseki stone. It literally has the footprints of the Buddha carved into it. A powerful symbol. It's just a wonderful mix of history, art, and quiet spots for reflection.
So much to see. But beyond the structures, you mentioned nature. Isn't there a very special tree here?
Yes. You can't miss the Mayohuzakura. It's this truly ancient mountain cherry tree, one of the temple's natural treasures.
How ancient are we talking?
Over 700 years old.
Wow.
And it has its own fantastic legend. It's said to have grown from a staff that Nichiren himself brought all the way from Chiba.
No way.
From his staff. That's the story. It's a rare type 2 Ichihara Tora no variety, and Kamakura City has officially named it a natural monument, as it should be. It's more than just a tree. Its story really links nature and spirituality together.
And I imagine the temple grounds are beautiful throughout the year, not just when that cherry tree is blooming.
Oh, absolutely. It's photogenic year-round. Think weeping cherries, peach blossoms, daffodils, azaleas in spring, then hydrangeas, crepe myrtles, lilies in summer, beautiful autumn colors, fragrant osmanthus, and even in winter, you've got camellias, plum blossoms, sasanquas. There's always something beautiful blooming. It's a nice, calming contrast to the intensity of its history.
A feast for the eyes, definitely. Now, connecting back to the spiritual side for visitors today, tell us about the Kumao Den.
Right, the Kumao Den. This enshrines a deity called Kumao Daisenjin. He was invited here, the story goes, by one of Nichiren's followers, Kumamaru.
And what's the significance for visitors?
Well, this deity is believed to offer protection against bad luck, misfortune, and also, quite specifically, healing for eye problems and dental issues. Very practical concerns, then and now.
Interesting. Health and protection.
And one more historical point for those interested in the lineage. The actual cremation site of Nichiro Shonin is here. He was one of Nichiren's main disciples, and it was his wish to be cremated here. So it emphasizes that continuity of the Nichiren tradition.
So much packed into one place. History, nature, spirituality. And for those feeling a bit adventurous, I hear there's a bit of a climb involved.
There is. If you like a mini trek, look for the steep stone staircase right next to the Kumao Den.
Okay, note to self. Wear comfy shoes.
Definitely wear comfortable shoes. It's a bit steep, but it's a short climb and totally worth the effort.
Because the reward is.
The reward is Fujimide. It's a viewpoint at the top, and the views are just panoramic. You see Kamakura City spread out below, Yugahama Beach, Inner Morgasaki Point.
Nice.
And on a clear day, this is the real bonus. You can see Mount Fuji. Plus the Izu Peninsula, even Oshima Island sometime.
Mount Fuji from Kamakura. That's special.
It really is. And it has spiritual meaning, too. It said Nichiren himself used to stand on this very spot and recite prayers facing Mount Fuji, linking his prayers for the nation's peace to that sacred mountain.
Wow, imagine that. Standing where he stood, looking at Fuji, that really brings history to life.
It does.
So for a good way to experience all this, maybe a suggested route.
Yeah, nice little walk, maybe 15 minutes or so. You could start at the main hall, then head up that path to Fujimine for the views.
Okay.
Then maybe check out the bell tower and loop around to Nanmenkutsu, the cave with the monkey legend. It's a quiet walk, lets you trace Nichiren's story and just feel the atmosphere.
Sounds like a perfect, focused visit.
And you know, this temple isn't just about the past. It's still very active. The current head priest, Chishin Harai, he's the 52nd generation.
52nd? That's incredible lineage.
Isn't it? And he brings a real global view. He actually spent 26 years as an international missionary in Hawaii London, California.
Oh, wow.
And he's been really involved in promoting interfaith dialogue worldwide. He even helped organize a joint U.S.-Japan memorial ceremony for the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor back in 2016.
That's amazing, connecting the temple's spirit of peace right up to the present day on a global scale.
Exactly. It shows how Nichiren's original vision for peace still resonates,
Yeah.
just in a modern way.
So really, if you're looking for some peace and quiet away from the hustle and bustle, and you want a place where history, nature, and deep faith all come together, Ankokuron-ji Temple seems like a must-visit. A unique experience.
Absolutely. A place for reflection and gaining some real insight into Kamakura's deeper story.
So how do people get there?
Okay, access. If you're walking, it's about a 15 to 20-minute walk from the east exit of JR Kamakura Station. It's a nice walk, actually, through quite a part of town.
15 to 20 minutes. Okay. Is there a bus option?
Yes, even quicker. You can take a local bus, get off at the Nago bus stop, that's Nagoe. From there, it's just a very short walk, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Super easy.
Great. What about parking?
Ah, good point. There isn't a dedicated parking lot right at the temple. So if you are driving, you'll need to use one of the coin-operated parking lots nearby. Just factor that in.
Right. Plan ahead for parking and opening hours.
It's open every day from 9 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon.
9:00 to 4:30. Any closing days?
Usually closed on Mondays. But there are exceptions. If Monday's a public holiday, it'll likely be open, and also during the special equinoctial weeks in spring and autumn. Always best to double-check if you're planning a Monday visit, just in case.
Good tip. And admission?
Very reasonable. Just 100 yen for general admission.
Only 100 yen.
Yeah. And if you happen to have a disability ID card, entry is free.
That's great. And I heard something about special experiences for groups.
Oh, yes. This is a fantastic option if you're traveling with others. For groups of 5 or more people, you can book special guided experiences. It costs 500 yen per person.
And what do those include?
They last about 45 minutes, and you can get things like access to private areas, usually off-limits, tours in English, or even get to try chanting practice with a sermon from the priest.
Wow, chanting practice. That sounds like a really deep dive, a very special opportunity.
It really does. A unique way to connect.
So lots to think about, lots to experience at Ankokuron-ji.
What do you think?
We hope the rest of your stay at Tarchi's place will be filled with wonderful memories.